I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Well, we don't see much evidence of that.
Well, that's President Biden there defending against that surprising jobs report last Friday and the suggestion that generous unemployment benefits are keeping people from going back to work.
Yeah, most economists, as you may remember, expected 1 million more Americans to take some jobs in April. But it turned out only 266,000 jobs were created. Unemployment got worse, ticking up to 6.1%. Several economists say Americans won't go back to work until unemployment benefits go back to normal. Seems common sense, but let's ask the panelists. Matt Locke, Kelly Hyman, Doug Flynn, thank you all for being back here. Matt Locke, start with you on this before I get to that. Biden, again, suggesting critics are wrong when they say unemployment benefits are preventing people from taking jobs. Here's that.
It's easy to say, the line has been, because of the generous unemployment benefits, that it's a major factor in labor shortages. Americans want to work.
And that's the argument. Matt Locke, your thoughts?
Well, obviously, they're going to sit at home and collect money if it's more than they're making to go get a job. I'm down here in Fort Worth, and I can tell you practically every business has a help wanted sign in the window. There are jobs out there, but when the government says, hey, look, we'll take care of you, we'll give you an extra $300 on top of what you were making. Now you're averaging $13 to $14 an hour instead of 10 to 12. I saw an article this morning, if you make under $32,000, it behooves you to stay at home. I think Doug said it best. Oh, poor Joe Biden, he's asleep at the wheel.
Let's hear from the press secretary. Press Secretary Jen Psaki sort of has a different idea as to why people are not taking jobs right now. Watch this.
We actually see the data and our analysis shows that lack of vaccination, the lower rate, which is why I referred to the data and the week that it was taken, it has an impact. Child care has an impact. Schools reopening has an impact.
Kelly Hyman, your thoughts on what the press secretary has said and now what we're hearing from the president as well as to why we're seeing such low employment numbers?
Well, I would agree with the press secretary 100%. There's a lot of different reasons why people don't return back to the workforce. A lot of women, especially with child care, taking care of their kids and doing that. And so also it's very difficult for them to do that and go back to work as well. But ultimately, we need to give people a workable rate so they can make money. And that's why it's important to increase the minimum wage.
Doug Flynn, you can respond to that if you'd like as well. But
Sure.
Also, is it possible to have, I don't know, multiple reasons why folks aren't going back to work? For women, maybe it's a lot of to do with not being able to send your kids to school, or obviously, you know, the daycare centers closed, whatever. But also the fact that you are being paid, according to that report that Matt pointed out, that if you make less than $32,000 a year, you will make more staying home.
Yeah, there are a lot of reasons, but look, the entire jobless rate increase from last month was with people without any college whatsoever. So what does that tell you? That tells you that that's squarely where they can't get the workers. And one of the people in my office was at a hockey tournament in Bridgeport, went to a Five Guys when the game was over at 8:15 p.m. It was closed, fine. They went back the next day for lunch. And on the door is a sign that says, due to staffing issues, we're only open from 2:30 to 8 p.m. So basically, there's one shift at that Five Guys, and that's rampant across the United States because you can't do two shifts and even do the lunch crowd because you can't get people to come in. How much do you have to pay them? You have to pay them way above what they'd be getting by staying home. And there's a lot of anecdotal evidence that, of course, Washington and the people in bureaucracy aren't going to see these things and know where they come from, but it's absolutely true. And once these unemployment benefits stop in September, you'll see the people going back to work, and we'll have a huge increase in employment. And, oh, but it won't be related to anything, of course, that they're saying it's not related to now. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, I can sense the sarcasm there. And also there are serious concerns about inflation at the same time. But here's the president talking about how if anyone is offered a job, they must take it. Watch this.
Anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits. There are a few COVID-19 related exceptions, so that people aren't forced to choose between their basic safety and a paycheck. But otherwise, that's the law.
You know, Matlock, what's interesting is I saw this clip on Twitter, and actually voices from the progressive voices, were very upset with this because, again, they took issue with, of course, what is, you know, a livable wage, and they had concerns about that. But also, I'm wondering, Matt, you know, really, who's going to enforce this? Who's going to make sure that if you are offered the job, you would take it? Got about 30 seconds.
Well, states have already started doing this. Obviously, in Florida and Texas, you have to prove that you're looking for a job. But what is a suitable job? And are you at risk if you go back to work? Those are the big questions. And I don't think the White House has the answers.
Yeah. Good point. Okay, we continue to ask those questions. Unfortunately, out of time for our panelists today. Matt Locke, Kelly Hyman, Doug Flynn, thank you very much.